Was a mess. Anyways, y'all. So I brought up Monique and Candiace because Candiace got online and said the only reason why Candiace gets all the business from everybody is because Ashley is light skinned and she's dark skinned. And I agree. I agree with her. The issue of colorism in our community is embedded and ingrained so deeply within the fabric of our community that we literally are unable and really will sit there and what is the word, obtuse? Yes. You will act like you don't fucking know when you actually know, because you can identify it when the person is white. You can identify it. But you can't seem to identify when the person is light skinned and they are doing the things worse than the dark skinned girl, and the dark skinned girl is getting all the business from the viewers and everybody else. Candiace is this and Candiace is that, when Candiace ain't no different from nobody on the show. In fact, the white identified biracial woman who is married to a bigoted sexual predator, you want to sit up there and act like Ashley. That's the reason why I don't like Ashley, because Ashley comes in there with her white identity, goes through, terrorizes everyone on the cast, and somehow, some way, she is violent because Ashley was coming at her in her house, in her home, and disrespected her in her home, talked about her mother. And that's what I said the other day on Twitter. Because Candiace don't have smoke for nobody but Ashley Darby. And rightfully so. That big football head, loud talking, fidgety bitch. Whenever Candiace gets in her ass, she got the right to do it. She got the right to do it. Ashley has been the worst cast member on Real Housewives of Potomac, and somehow Candiace is the one. Candiace is the one. I was just like, let me see. And it's an unconscious bias. Who has a great video on this? Layla Lynn. Please go watch. Did I share it? I know I shared it on Twitter. I don't know if I shared it on my wall. Shout out to Layla Lynn. She did a very good, comprehensive recap of the situation that's happening with Candiace and Ashley. We speak about colorism and the unconscious bias. Let me tell you something. Y'all not going to sit up here and act like we all have not been programmed to believe that white is right, that white is the standard, that you got to behave and act a certain way because you don't want white folks doing whatever. We have been ingrained and programmed with that template. The angel is white, the villain is black. All of that has been ingrained in us. So as black people, when we see a lighter complected person, we automatically assume it's the angel. When we see a dark complected person, we automatically assume they're the villain. They're guilty. They're the monster. They deserved what happened to them. The only reason why Monique went for Candiace, because she was the easiest person to go after. She wouldn't dare put her hand on that light-skinned Giselle who started the fucking rumor. She wouldn't dare do that because she know where she is now, she'd be worse off if you came for the light-skinned beauty queen who starts shit along with Ashley. Y'all all of a sudden don't like Wendy. If y'all don't see that you have an unconscious bias to light-skinned people, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. But y'all can't sit up here and act like Candiace is reckless. She's reckless at the mouth. What has she said that's no more reckless than saying that you don't need to stay in your family for the kids. You need to get out of your marriage. Oh, you didn't say nothing when you said Ray's dick was all shriveled up and old. She was in this woman's house talking shit to her. She was in Candiace's house talking shit to her, calling it Dorothy's home, when we know Sheila's home is a tent. And let me tell you something. Candiace hasn't even touched Sheila yet. And I can't wait for the day she does. Because, bitch, your mama, we could drag you all day about your mama. While you want to talk about the dark-skinned, middle-class, uppity girl whose mother has created generational wealth for her and was able to purchase her first home and help her purchase her first home. Like, a lot of you niggas wish that your parents help you buy your first home if you ain't still in a fucking apartment. While Ashley got to lay up underneath the Grim Reaper in order to pay her mama's rent because she was living with a nigga who wasn't paying no rent. And Michael told Ashley, I'm not going to be paying the rent when there's an able-bodied nigga in your mama's home, in the house I'm paying rent for. If he don't leave, I ain't paying shit. But y'all want to come for Candiace. Candiace ain't worried about nothing. She is sleeping with Chris by choice, not for survival, unlike Ashley. But Ashley gets away with highway robbery, murder, and then all the while sitting up there with married to a husband who has assaulted people in production and in the crew. But Candiace, y'all ain't gonna tell me that's not an unconscious bias. Something's wrong with Candiace. Even in the clip of the trailer, that new girl, I don't know her name, but she light skinned, okay? And she threw lettuce at Candiace. What we have seen in a clip was Candiace reacting to a woman throwing something at her, and she threw it back, and still y'all said, oh, there's Candiace. She throwing shit again. She's being reckless again. You're not even taking to the fact that what she did was a reaction. Even in that small, it was not even a 2-second clip. And somehow, some way, Candiace has again placed the blame on her, when her action was a reaction to something being thrown at her. Y'all don't see the unconscious, but y'all can't see it because you're not conscious of it. You have been programmed to believe that the lighter person, and even in Layla Lynn's video, she speaks about sentencing in criminal justice. Sentencing, darker skinned women get longer sentences than lighter skinned women. When it's time to go up to the judge, they assume the light skinned girl, I didn't do it. Even though, let me tell you something. If Candiace would have beat that girl's ass for coming in her house, talking shit about her mama, disrespecting her, after she asked her to leave, coming back twice with the help and encouragement of Giselle Bryant, she came back in that house and said, oh, I heard you was getting hit with handbags. Bitch. But y'all somehow, some way, can understand that the recklessness that came out of Candiace's mouth, which was, I'm bored, girl, you making up shit that don't make sense. That was enough recklessness in her mouth. Not the recklessness that Kaya and Akbar, that's reckless, bitch. When you talking about somebody's kid having developmental delays because you are on coke, that's reckless. Not, bitch, I'm asleep because you making up shit. But all of a sudden, you okay with that. You okay with that. But you're not okay with the girl defending herself in her own home? Are you serious right now? And like I said, even that small clip of Candiace in the new season, we don't know context. We don't know storyline. We don't know what happened. But it is the assumption from a less than a 2-second clip that you have deduced everything and said that something is wrong with Candiace. That you're not going to tell me that's some colorist shit right there. Because like on Rodney's live last night, I asked the question needs to be asked. If Candiace's mouth is so reckless, who are we comparing her to? Reckless compared to who, Karen? Robin? Katie? Giselle? Ashley? Monique? Sharice, who is her mouth more reckless than? And we know the purpose of being on these shows. Bitch, let me tell you something. If you're coming on a reality show and you're a bitch that can't gather her words to read a bitch down, you're in the wrong profession. Because some of these bitches got mouths that got hands. And bitch, you will think we put our hands on you. From what comes out of our mouth, you want to beat people's asses because they got a better mouth than you. You don't need to be in reality TV. And if you want to be in a reality show where it's okay to put your hands on other women, take it somewhere else. Take it somewhere else. I'm tired of this acting like Candiace is this. And then when the next dark-skinned girl gets there, Ashley can call her ferocious and reckless. And Ashley is really getting away with a lot of murder because she is light-skinned. She is. She's light-skinned. And we know that's what it's about. We know that when people look at her, it's assumed that she's innocent, that what she did wasn't that bad. And she can sit up there. Ashley, in all honesty, because her husband is a liability, she shouldn't even be on the show at all. And the fact that Ashley is still on this show with the things that her husband does and what she has done, she's still on this show with no consequence, no repercussion, is another example of that privilege. You have a white identified biracial woman with a white man who is bigoted, who has been accused of sexual assault and misconduct, and she's still allowed to have a platform to be as disgusting and reckless as she is. She's being rewarded because everything that she has done on this show, including the actions of her husband, it should have been ripped from her hands. She should have no access to no platform simply because you are aligned with a man like that. That is another example of her light-skinned privilege. You married to a white man. Y'all don't like Chris. Oh, you saying she married to Chris. Chris is black identified. We're not going to act like he's not. We already know what he is. And I'm not going to praise him for being black identified because we see Gary Owen was black identified and you see how he treated his black wife. Okay? So it makes no difference. I tell you, all these niggas are the same. They all socialize the same. It don't matter their race. They're all socialized the same. Anyways, I'm not going to even talk about Gary Owen and that shit. But y'all don't like Chris because he's black identified. Don't act like you don't. Because some of the girls like him because he's black identified. Oh, her mouth is reckless. And the nerve. Let me tell you something. The fact, I have another example and then I'm done. The fact that Ashley was going back and forth with Candiace while she was laying on the labor and delivery table. Going back and forth with Candiace. Candiace is wearing her ass out. But bitch, you're engaging and you're participating. And then when you decided to give birth to Gullum, the Grim Reaper's child, when you decided to give birth to little Jim Crow and you stopped responding, and then you went back and deleted it, then you're going to sit your ass up at the reunion and demand that she give you an apology. And Candiace? An apology for what? Bitch, don't ever apologize to that big head bitch. You got a lot of nerve. You and your mama sleeping under tents on the freeways and got the nerve to come in somebody else's house and say her mama bought this house. Bitch, what your mama bought you? You got to sleep with that man so that your mama don't be sleeping under freeways, bitch. Let's talk about it. Let's really talk about it, bitch. I can't wait. When I tell you, I cannot wait until Candiace wears into Ashley's ass about Sheila. I can't wait, bitch. Because you're going to sit in my motherfucking house and talk about my mama. I'm going to talk about your mama, too. And I'm going to talk about your mama so bad, bitch. You're going to be in the corner rocking back and forth, saliva dripping out your mouth. Because I'm going to wear your ass out. I hope she wears her out. Because that's the only bitch that Candiace ever has smoke for, is that entitled bitch, and rightfully so. I don't even fuck with Candiace like that. But I don't like nobody sitting up here, and y'all really sitting up here in your bias, and that's a bias, and you're not even conscious about it, that you automatically assume that the dark-skinned girl is wrong and the light-skinned girl gets away with fucking murder. We're not gonna sit up here and act like it doesn't exist. I can't stand when y'all do that. I can't stand when y'all do that, because let me tell you something. Y'all would know what racism is if Monique was a white woman on TV talking about the black women shouldn't wear bonnets. You would know that. You would know what that looked like. Bitch, who you trying to tell who can do what? Y'all understand racism, but y'all don't understand colorism, and I don't understand it because it's all that it is just white is right, lighter is better, and it's just let me tell you, I say it all the time. Wherever there is a color spectrum of people, the illusion of white supremacy has infected that group. Every single group, every group that has a color spectrum of people have been infected by the illusion of white supremacy. And y'all not going to act like that doesn't exist, to the point where you will blame a person for the violence against them. Girl, I'm done. All right, take care of each other and protect your energy.